On a cold December night in 2020, a young college student named Jason Landry left his apartment, packed into his car, and began the drive home for Christmas break. What started as a routine journey quickly turned into a chilling mystery that still puzzles investigators, friends, and family alike. Jason never arrived at his destination. Instead, he vanished without a trace, leaving behind a car, scattered belongings, and an entire community desperate for answers. Jason was 21 years old and a student at Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas. He studied sound recording technology, a field he was deeply passionate about. The scene was perplexing. The car's driver's side door was open, key still in the ignition, and the lights remained on as if someone had just stepped away briefly. Roughly 900 feet away from the crash site, they uncovered something chilling: a pile of clothes believed to be Jason's. His shirt, pants, socks, underwear, and sandals were found discarded, along with toiletries, a wristwatch, and a small blood stain nearby. Yet despite the evidence, no footprints led away from the scene. No signs of a struggle or forced entry, just a baffling trail of personal effects without their owner. Inside, Jason's wallet, phone, and backpack were untouched, and in the trunk, his clothes, music equipment, and even his pet betta fish, alive in a plastic cup, were discovered. The fact that he deviated from his usual route onto a remote road raises questions. Did he take the back road to avoid something or someone? Or was he forced off the highway? Was he followed or abducted? However, this theory faces strong opposition from those who knew him best. Jason left behind all his belongings, including his phone, his laptop, and even his fish. There have been no known financial transactions, social media activity, or credible sightings since his disappearance. Walking away from everything without any resources or contact would be an incredibly difficult choice for anyone, especially for someone as close to his family as Jason. There has been no direct evidence to support this theory: no eyewitnesses, no surveillance footage, and no suspects. Each year, his parents hold vigils near the crash site, lighting candles in hopes that someday their son might come home. A reward remains active, offering $20,000 for any information that could lead to finding Jason or uncovering what happened that night. But the silence surrounding Jason's fate only fuels suspicion. He regularly speaks out to keep public attention alive and push authorities for new investigations. Because behind every missing person is a family waiting for answers and a life worth remembering. It raises difficult questions about the unknown risks lurking on dark backroads, the fragility of human life, and the limits of modern investigation. Contact the Texas Attorney General's office or the Caldwell County Sheriff's Department. You may be the key to unlocking a mystery that has haunted a family for years. His commitment is unwavering, fueled by the belief that Jason deserves answers and that his story must not be forgotten. Volunteers, cadaver dogs, drones, helicopters, and specialized search teams have combed through forests, creeks, oil fields, and nearby rural properties. He is a son, a brother, a student with dreams, and a life interrupted. His story is a reminder that every person matters and that even the smallest clue can change everything. Jason's father relocated temporarily to the area to participate in the search, refusing to give up hope. But Jason himself was nowhere to be found, known by those close to him as a quiet, creative, and thoughtful individual. Jason was the youngest of 3 siblings. Jason's phone remained inside the car, still powered on. The scattered belongings were spread over a surprisingly large area. Why would he take the risk of walking down such a desolate backroad at night? They conducted dozens of interviews, collected DNA samples, and issued geofence warrants to map digital devices active near the scene at the time. Despite these efforts and the advanced technology available, no definitive leads emerged. And if hypothermia was the cause, why has no trace of him, no body, no personal items ever been found despite exhaustive searches? Raised in a tight-knit family in Missouri City, near Houston, He grew up in a religious household led by his father, Kent Landry, who worked as a pastor and former attorney. Despite the stability of his upbringing, Jason faced the typical challenges many young adults encounter figuring out his path, adjusting to college life, and dealing with personal uncertainties. The temperatures that night hovered around freezing, cold enough to cause hypothermia. In extreme cases, people suffering from hypothermia experience paradoxical undressing, a phenomenon where the brain misinterprets cold sensations, prompting the victim to remove their clothing despite the cold. Could Jason have wandered away from his vehicle in a confused state, shedding his clothes as he succumbed to the cold night? Yet, through it all, he maintained a focus on music and technology, his true loves. On December 13, 2020, Jason prepared for the trip home. He said goodbye to his apartment in San Marcos around 10:55 p.m., his belongings packed carefully into his gray Nissan Altima. Around 11:30 p.m., Jason exited the interstate and began driving along Salt Flat Road, a winding rural backroad known for its darkness and isolation. It was here that his phone signals disappeared, marking the last known digital trace of his whereabouts. After this point, nothing would be heard from Jason again. Cell phone data confirms he was actively using the navigation app Waze, plotting his route back to Missouri City. For the first half hour, the journey seemed straightforward. He was driving south on Interstate 35, moving through familiar towns and quiet highways. However, things took a strange turn just outside the town of Luling, in Caldwell County. The following morning, a volunteer firefighter was driving along Salt Flat Road when he spotted Jason's car crashed into a tree and a barbed wire fence. Search teams were quickly assembled to comb the surrounding area. From the outset, theories emerged to explain Jason's sudden disappearance. One common theory suggests that after the crash, Jason might have become disoriented and succumbed to the elements. This theory, while plausible, doesn't fully explain the circumstances. Others consider the possibility of foul play. Some family members and investigators believe Jason may have encountered someone dangerous that night. Another theory proposed is that Jason chose to disappear intentionally. This idea suggests that Jason might have wanted to start fresh somewhere else, abandoning his life, family, and responsibilities. Over the years, search efforts have been extensive but ultimately fruitless. More than 30 search parties have scoured the land surrounding Salt Flat Road and Luling. In 2022, the Texas Attorney General's office stepped in, coordinating with the FBI, Texas Rangers, and forensic experts to reinvigorate the investigation. The case has since become a somber reminder of how fragile and unpredictable life can be. Jason Landry has now been missing for over 4 years, leaving behind a family devastated by uncertainty. Jason's father continues to be the driving force behind the search, refusing to let his son's case grow cold. This case challenges us all to consider how many missing persons disappear quietly, leaving only questions behind. If you have any information about Jason Landry's disappearance, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, authorities urge you to come forward. Sharing Jason's story can help keep his memory alive and bring hope to those still searching. Jason Landry is more than just a missing person.